All right, everybody, welcome back to the Wraparound Roundtable extended interview with Jeremy Rupke of Mode Hockey, more importantly, How to Hockey. We're going to dive into both of those today. Jeremy, I do want to ask this. When it comes to Mode Hockey, I love what you have done in terms of making sticks specifically for youth hockey players. And again, where did that idea come from, and what was the process of bringing them to fruition?
So full transparency, Raven Hockey started the kid stick lineup. I and A friend of mine, about a year later, after Raven had launched, he said that he wanted to do the same thing, and he wants to do kid sticks. And I was like, okay, well, how are we gonna like differentiate ourselves, right? And he said, all right, we're gonna do 100% carbon fiber. So like no fiberglass, no additives, anything like that. Make them basically pro quality, and then also just have fun with the company. So cool branding, cool merch. I think Raven was a little more on like the technical side, like very laid out of like, here's your height, here's your flex, here's the color coded sticks. It wasn't as much as like a fun brand. So we wanted to do a fun brand that inspired kids to play, and also just like feel cool about having a hockey stick in their hands, and kind of gear it more towards like the younger kids. I think a lot of branding with the bigger companies is more to like the teenagers, like elite type stuff. So we wanted to make it like, more like graffiti, raw. I don't like around for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds. And then once they get to that little bit older, then they can get up to like, the top end CCMs, Bowers and stuff. But we want to have a cool, fun brand for kids that was top quality.
Well, I think the key word you said is fun. These sticks are, when you see them, they're fun, right? Hockey's supposed to be fun. I think it's a great way to express yourself between the battle mode colors and obviously the glitch mode sticks that you have that have a really cool power button. Before we move on, for those of you watching, you'll see that Jeremy has a very special guest with him. And Jeremy, I wanted to give you a chance you don't have to give any names if you don't want, but at least to introduce the person that's with you today.
Oh, sure. This is Briar. It's daddy daycare right now. So right now, Corey Carson is babysitting her. And luckily that's keeping her nice and quiet so I can do the pod. The beauty of working from home is that sometimes my wife decides that she wants to go out without the kid, and I fully support that. Right. And I'll take her during my work hours, and usually I'll keep her busy with drawing or something like that. But and I'll be editing my videos, or I can answer emails on my phone while I'm giving Sammy a break, because it is not easy raising kids, that's for sure.
No, listen, I'm with you on that, brother. And I'll tell you, look, you're getting a real behind the scenes look of what it is to be Jeremy Rupke right now, and the life that you live. And I love that you're sharing that with us, because it really is a family led passion, right?
My whole philosophy is like, just get it done. Right. So if she, needs to go somewhere, she doesn't want the kid, sure, leave her with me. Doesn't matter. I didn't argue. I'm not like, oh, I have a podcast, you can't like take her with you, that sort of thing. No, okay, fine. She can be on the podcast. It's not a big deal, right?
Absolutely,
we make it work.
Yeah,
we adjust, we adapt.
You have to in today's world. I mentioned a few minutes ago how fun these sticks are. I did want to dive in a little bit more about the designs, because they're very unique. So I actually think you had a really cool design process. You did the smart thing. You didn't think like an adult. You had to think like a kid. So tell me how these sticks were designed.
Right. So the glitch mode stick was a special release. And that's something else unique that I guess some of the other brands do that, but it was kind of like a limited edition drop. And I wanted to focus on, what do kids like love? Gaming. Right. And what is kind of one of the coolest things, or maybe like the easiest goals you can score, is like a glitch goal. So in NHL, 23, whatever, 24, there's these glitch goals where you just score every single time.
Right.
And I thought, well, why don't we drop that into a stick and kind of have that mentality like, oh, this is, so our company is Mode Hockey, right? So we made the glitch mode stick. And then I was talking to Mason for ideas for the stick, and we basically let him design it. So, he gave the idea of like the graphics and like digital graphics. And my wife also helped, guide that process. So it was pretty much Sammy and Mason that were designing the stick. And his main contribution was he wanted a power button on it.
Right.
So he could have the stick in his hands, and then he can push the power button when you need that glitch goal, right? He's 8 years old, right? So he's like, okay, I need that glitch goal. You get on the bench, you push the power button, and there's a little like power up sort of bar there that doesn't actually light up, but it kind of looks like it is lighting up. So he had a lot of fun like that when we dropped the stick. He brought it out in the backyard rink, and he was like pushing the button and then going and try to score these crazy goals and stuff. So I mean, it's just little things like that, right? Inspirational, and make it more fun. Like the kids having more fun because of the stick and because of the design.
Yeah, I think kids like what other kids like. And I think that,
Oh yeah,
especially in business, sometimes as adults, we can forget that and think, oh, I know. But no, an 8-year-old's going to know what another 8-year-old wants. And I do love that power button. It's right on the shaft, kind of where your hand would be, your bottom hand sometimes.
yeah.
And I remember looking at that. And like as an adult, you see it as, oh, okay, that's fun. But yeah, I'm like, as an 8-year-old, I definitely would have been pushing this thing just to have
That's what
some
I'm
fun
saying.
with it. Right. So
Yeah,
I love that the sticks are not just pro quality, but they're designed by kids. Right.
yeah.
And with kids in mind. So that's something really special about Mode Hockey. Jeremy, another cool question I get to ask you. You and I have been dancing around each other for like 10 years, and we see each other at shows sometimes. But one of the things I've always loved is our joint objective to make the game more accessible and more affordable for hockey families. Like
Mhm.
I love everything you do because you don't just spread great messages, but the joy of the game. And I think that can get lost in a lot of translation sometimes with the world we
Yeah.
live in. But one of the cooler collaborations that you and I have been part of is, and we're announcing this now, we're teaming up to provide a wraparound with every mode stick for the holiday season. Because one of the biggest threats we're seeing in hockey is the pricing out of people from the game. It is a
Oh yeah.
major problem that we don't talk about enough. You see major drop off at the mite, at the squirt level, because families simply can't afford the game. So tell me why it's so important from a mode standpoint and a how-to hockey standpoint.
Mhm.
We make actions towards changing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to afford. Like hockey is an expensive sport. You talk about soccer, you don't even need any equipment. You can just find someone who has a soccer ball and go and play in a grassy field somewhere if you want to learn it. Same with basketball, right? You can just show up to a basketball court and start playing basketball, but like there's not really that opportunity for hockey. Skates, like you at least need skates. The bare minimum, you need a stick.
Right.
Right. So if you want to start just playing in your driveway, shooting, like learning to play the game, you need a hockey stick. And it's hard to find an affordable one, and it's definitely hard to find a good affordable one. So with this partnership, we're basically dropping the price of the sticks. Do we have a set price?
It depends on the time of the year, but they're going to be extremely affordable. I'll say
Okay, okay.
that.
So we're basically the power or the benefit of getting it direct is that you cut out the middleman. Basically, if you go to retail, you have to provide those sticks. Say it costs, I don't know, $70 to make a stick, or $60, depending on what material you make, right? Well, you got to make money, so the retailers will sell, or the companies will sell those to a retailer for, let's say, $90, right? And then the producer made their money. Now the retailer has to make some money, so they're going to bump it up even more. So every middleman in the middle, and I'm being very conservative, that usually it's like they double the price every single time
Yeah,
along the
this is
way.
how you get to $350 sticks.
Exactly, right.
Right.
It costs $100. They sell it to the retailers for 200. The retailer sells it for 300. Right, pretty much is how it would go. Right, so then that's the nice thing. We kind of cut out the middleman, sell it direct to the consumer, and they get the savings there. And you guys, including the wraparound, that's just like a crazy deal. So now I would say this would probably be the cheapest you could get a stick of this quality. Like the 100% carbon fiber, how it's made is important too. There's a lot of factories. We went with one that was making really good quality sticks, like had a good process. The process is important. And with having the wraparound on there, you can actually use it outside and not worry about destroying your new, say, $100 stick. But yeah, these sticks easily sell for 150 in the store.
Yeah, and we'll make the statement now. Again, you're going to get a great high quality, pro quality stick and be able to protect it, right? And we're going to, for the holidays, bring those prices down. Obviously, pay attention to social media or the
Yeah.
websites. But the goal between the both of us, and we had a phone call about this, is look, we just want to make it affordable. So when these families buy their stick or two for the year, they can feel comfortable in getting it and know that the kids can play anywhere. And parents listening, your kids will go outside and drag those sticks. That's why we're just including the wraparound. We're not even giving you the option. It's just going to be in there to make sure that you can use it.
The greatest thing, or one of the best things, is hearing the feedback. So parents will tell me that they got the mode hockey stick, and then their kid loved it. So then they're shooting the puck more, and they're out there because like they like, oh yeah, that's like the stick they really wanted, and it encourages them to shoot more. And then hearing from the parents, like I just had this conversation last week at the hockey rink. He's like, dude, I got that 20 flex for my kid. He's like, he's actually like putting it bar down now.
Right,
He's going
right.
top shelf. He's like, because before he had like a senior stick cut down, and it's basically just like a 2x4 in the kid's hands, right? So the shafts are a little bit smaller so that, you know, the kids can hold it better in their hands, and then it actually flexes.
Right.
And it's important for them to learn that flex early, and then basically just carry that same flex profile as they get older and stronger, right? So yeah, it's cool to hear that the sticks are actually making a difference in the kids' shots as well. I love hearing that, right? Because
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a
motivates the
story.
kids.
Let me tell you a story, Jeremy. I got one for my son and my daughter,
Yeah,
right? And they love the fact they just got a new hockey stick. My
yeah,
son goes on this. Now my son's a goalie, all right, but he
yeah.
plays out. He plays out every other game when he's not in net. There's two goalies on the team. And he went on the ice and he took one shot with this thing and it
Yeah.
went top shelf. And
Nice.
his eyes got so wide. And he was on the verge of being, can I not play goalie next game so I can use this? Right.
No.
Right. So some parents would want that, but no, I actually love that he's a goalie, but he loves this stick. I mean, look, it's not about point production, but that's clearly gone up since he's been using it. I think it's just because he's having more fun. He has more confidence in it. And then
Right.
my daughter got one, goes out in her mic game, scores first shift. And
Nice.
whether it was the stick or not, because she's just a mite, she thinks it is now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's been fun with that.
It's definitely, yeah, it's fun just to whatever the reason, but it's like you just hype it up. You hype everything up, right? Oh
Right.
yeah, that new stick's really working for you,
It's
right?
got to
And
be the stick.
yeah.
So, Jeremy, I want to change gears here a little bit and talk about How to Hockey. You're
Yep.
getting pretty close to 1 million subscribers. I mean, you've got
Yeah.
millions of fans around the globe, right? You've been doing this kind of work for well over a decade. I mean, I think you're 13, 14, 15 now, something like that.
Yeah, 2009 is when I started the website.
Right.
So yeah, we're getting close.
Well, look,
15 years.
let me congratulate you first, because I think there are very few people that have been able to do what you've done as long as you've done it. I'm not going to use words like influencers or creators, because I think you are much more than that. It's funny when you're in the industry, those words sometimes are positive or negative depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
way I look at it is, you're a person who's made impact. You have introduced the game to lots and lots of people, not to mention helped lots and lots of people who are in the game. And again, you've survived lots of different changes in the game, including a pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So I think that your work speaks for itself in that sense. But I want to ask you, it's kind of a broad question, but what are your biggest takeaways as someone who's been in this space for so long?
I mean, that's a tough. It depends what lens you're looking through. I'd say from like
Literally or
just a life.
figuratively.
I mean, from a life perspective, just if you love what you're doing, then it just makes it really easy to keep on doing it and to make a difference. For me, that's why I've stuck with hockey. I mean, there's a lot of other opportunities out there. I could quit making. The reason I've been in it for 15 years is because I just love doing it. And there's always these opportunities that I could have quit and gone into crypto or something like that a few
Right.
years back.
Probably a good thing that you
follow.
didn't. Yeah.
Wow, it depends what time on your timing, like.
That's true too.
But
We got a lot
whatever.
of GameSpot stock.
Yeah, yeah. But there's like there's all the kinds of opportunities and different ways to make money online and stuff like that. And I could probably use my skills to kind of step outside of hockey and make more, but making money isn't really that important to me. Doing something that I feel good about and that I think
Right.
I can contribute and make a difference and I can help others. And my kids can be proud of what I'm doing, and see that I'm actually helping people and making difference. And I want to be a good role model. And I just in hockey, I have that opportunity. I've built that up, and I love it. So why would I change? Even if I could make more in some other industry, like I could get into real estate or you know what I mean?
Right.
There's
Right.
so like with the skills of being able to produce videos and be on camera and crank out content. There's a lot of ways, a lot of directions we could take it. But yeah, what's kept me in the game is just that I love hockey. It had a really big impact on my life when I was a kid, and I think that it's actually kind of like it hurts to hear some people don't have a good experience in hockey.
Yeah.
because like my experience was so positive. And I'm like, oh man, like it kind of pains me to hear that not everyone has that experience, because that's what I want to pass on. I want to encourage more people to be in the game and give back. And, once you're done playing hockey, start coaching, and, here's how you can be a good coach and be positive role model to the kids. That's how I think it should always be, obviously. So yeah, just trying to kind of pass that on and let more people experience the game and everything that it has to offer. So yeah, I guess if I'm given, just advice, it's love what you do. And when you find something you love, just keep on doing it. And I didn't make money. YouTube didn't pay anything. Instagram didn't exist. TikTok
Right.
didn't exist.
Right.
Right. I started a website for fun so that anyone could learn how to play hockey. And I needed videos for the website, and I couldn't really find any videos on YouTube to embed. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just make some then, right? I think Chris was the only other guy. He had a hockey stop tutorial. That was the only video I
Right.
found.
He's the only other
Right?
guy who's still around from that time too, which is
Yeah,
amazing
yeah.
when you think about
So
it.
I found Chris's hockey tutorial. Hockey tutorial. How to hockey stop.
Right. That was his
And
first
I was
video.
like, right, but I was like,
Yeah.
it's like 15 minutes long, and I'm gonna make that video in like 5 minutes. And then I was like, what about how to take a wrist shot and how to take a backhand, how to stick handle? So I was looking for all these videos and I couldn't really find them. I was like, all right, well, I'll just go out and make my own videos. So that's I threw them up on YouTube. There was no way to make money on YouTube at the time.
Right.
It was supposed to be just like a hobby thing. But yeah, it had such a big impact, and people kept asking me to make more videos. So I was like, all right, I'll keep on making more videos. And then eventually it became like a way to make money. So yeah, I never expected to make anything. And I'm always blessed that I am now, that it's a career.
Well, look, I'll tell you a few things. Is one, you're not just trying to do this; you're doing it. You've impacted a lot of lives, probably more than you even realize. I mean, we've all been following you for that time. I think the other huge takeaway here that I want to press upon the audience, especially the younger people listening, that might want to have a life in hockey, it really comes down to how you define the word rich, right? And I think you said it right, man. Like, rich for you is not just monetary. It is, my family is proud of me. I believe in what I'm doing. I have a passion for what I'm doing. Jeremy, I am really privileged to get to interview a lot of NHL people and be around NHL people just like you. And one of the cool things you realize about these people is their love and passion of the game is insane. I mean, it is massive. And you have that too. It just goes to show you that if you really want to make it in anything, you have to have a passion for that thing.
It
Right.
helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you're not going to be happy. Right.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. So you could make it and you could be successful, like you could get paid to do something, but if you're not happy, it's like everything comes at a cost,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to sacrifice my happiness and mental health for some dollars, right?
Right.
I would sooner take less, and I'm fortunate enough that someone wants a Bubba.
That's station
I'm,
break.
I'm fortunate enough that I'm happy and doing well.
Right.
But like that was never like I would have been happy one way or the other. It was never the point. Like I was never trying to get more followers or make more money.
Right.
I'm just trying to make good content that I'm happy to share with the world. And luckily that aligned with other opportunities to actually make a living out of it. So
I love it, man. And I'm going to say it again that, sometimes you got to take a step back and look at what your definition of success is, not society's definition of success. I've had people say, I got to have a house, I got to have a high paying job, I got to get married, I got to do this. That's not
yeah,
your definition. That's
no,
society's. Each one of us should have our own individual definition. And I really appreciate you sharing yours, because I think it's very inspirational.
That really is it. Like you should have a North Star, like what's important to you, find that first, because don't live other people's dreams. You gotta, find what your own is. And then it's a lot easier to make decisions. Not happy. She wants her milk. It's a lot easier to make decisions when you better understand yourself, and what your definition of success and what makes you happy, what makes you tick. It definitely makes the whole process a lot easier. And find your own definition. It's great. I love that.
Yeah, Jeremy, last question, as I can see the committee there needs your attention, and I want to make sure that you are able to parent your kids. You and I have been able to travel the world in hockey, and I have seen you in some insane destinations. Some of the ones that come to my mind, like I've seen you in an ice cave, I've seen you on top of a building, I've seen you all over the world. Do you have a favorite destination or a couple of them, or a moment where you just stopped and we're like, oh my goodness, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's happened multiple times. I think it's tough to pick one, and it's actually funny. I've been planning on making a video on like the top like 5 places that I played hockey.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I'm just gonna run down a list. So the hockey cave is awesome. I liked that one because it's like we kind of had to find it. Like we had a general idea of where it was, and like
Right.
it's not advertised. It's not like a tourist spot, and that's kind of like I love. I don't like being a sheep and just paraded around and like, okay, look at this, look at this, look at this. It's more cool if it's an adventure, right? So we kind of had to like find the cave, and the ice can. It was just unreal. It was like, you know, like when you walk into like a cathedral and you look around, you're surrounded by beauty.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole vibe there. And like the ice, because there was no snow on it, like you could see right through, like it was like thick, and you could see right down to the bottom. So that was a pretty cool experience. The hockey cave. Then yeah, I'd say probably the mountaintop rink that we did with Molson Canadian, anything for hockey. That one was unreal as well. Basically got helicoptered up to a rink that a crew was working on for like a week to play. Like the thing is, they were shooting a commercial, so we were kind of like directed, which I think they should have just let the cameras roll and be like, just play some pond hockey and take the clips you get, right? But you know, that's the difference between how a YouTuber would film something versus how a producer, director, so and so would shoot, right?
The best content is always authentic. I'll say that. Right
Yeah, yeah. But that was a great time. Yeah, I'd say those two would probably be the biggest. And then I'd also throw in Quebec, there's a place called Patinage en Forêt, which is basically just French translation would be skating in the woods. It's basically like I think about 10 kilometers of trails, and you can just skate through the woods. And the guy, I don't know, it's just such a cool experience to just like, instead of a hiking trail, you just got lace up the skates and just kind of fly through and cut and weave through trails and paths. Like that's a great experience as well.
Yeah, look, I've seen all those videos, and even I sit back watching them like, that's amazing. You know, another one you did was the sound of hockey. I remember that one sticks out. I
Yes.
mean, you've done a lot of videos, but you did this really brilliant video where you got some high quality audio of just the different sounds. And it's one of those things of you turn it on and you go, I'm going to know what these are, but you get in a trance with it because it was such a good idea. But you're always innovating. You're always trying new things. Obviously, you're always traveling. You're always doing new things. But I love where this journey's taken you. Do you have any visions for the future or continuing towards a North Star that you can share? And where this is going to go for you, or is it just I'm just going to continue on the journey?
Yeah, it's really tough because like when I started on YouTube, like a lot of people, they say, okay, what's your 5-year plan? Right. When I started like just uploading videos to YouTube, it's like, oh, just make a good, I guess I keep it general. Like make good videos, have a good website. And that was pretty much it. And I couldn't have really had a 5-year plan because I can't predict the future. And I didn't like, there was no way to make money on YouTube. So I couldn't be like, okay, well, if I make this amount of videos, I can make this amount of money. And you know what I mean? So there was no real plan. And then YouTube just like, oh, we're allowing people to put ads on their videos now. And to be honest, I didn't even put ads on my videos for the longest time. I wasn't going to, because I'm like, I don't want to do it for the money. I want to do it just for the love of the game. I don't want the reason I'm making these videos is to try to make money. That doesn't feel like authentic to me. So I resisted making money for the first few years until making the videos and creating the content was taking up most of my time. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I might as well just like actually make money at this, because then I could do it more.
Right.
Right. Like once I made that connection, it's like, okay, I could quit like what I'm doing to make money and just make money off of hockey things. And then that allows me to invest 100% of my thoughts and time and energy into it. So that's when I made the switch to actually making money. But yeah, and then you want some more milk for that baby? You got to wait. Okay.
Then I'll tell you this too, though, you know, so it's just a compliment to you. You know, one of the things about ads, and hopefully you get good ads with the videos, but you've earned these people sitting through those ads to watch you. I mean, that's actually a check mark for you too. Remember, we all choose to watch, right? So I think I think of this for ourselves too. Like anytime someone sits through an ad or has to get over a hump of any sort to get to a video that's produced, that's a vote for you. So I think that's a huge
Yeah.
compliment.
Well, yeah, now it's like it's expected. In the beginning, people were like, "Oh, all these ads." Now it's just like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
part
like
of it.
TV, right? It's built in, so it's not so much of a struggle anymore. But yeah, and then like Instagram, I couldn't have planned to, say I had a 5-year plan. Well, the next month, Instagram starts taking off, and I'm going to a hockey camp, and I see all these kids with Instagram, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" Right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, Pavel Barber's on here, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's see. He's got 30,000 followers. What the heck?" Right? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna hop on Instagram." So I start an account. Well, like a few months before, I didn't even know that existed.
Right.
So right, I couldn't have planned, and then even the path that Instagram has taken, I would have had no idea that brands would pay so much to get for you to post on Instagram, right? So it's like hard to have a 5-year plan when all I do is adapt and change. And I guess the big thing is just to have a purpose and a main goal to help inspire other people, spread my love of the game, just create good content, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's kind of it. And I do go back and forth, like, should I get into products? Should I hire a team? Should I get an office? But I always come back to, like, I don't know. I'll focus on the content. The content always does well. Um, it kind of gives me the freedom as well. Like if I want to take a day off, I can, which I
Right.
like. Right. I
Right.
feel if I was into products and like running like a bricks and mortar type business or whatever, it's like you have to always be on. You have to always be available. So I like that I can, if I want to take Briar public skating, I'll take her. And then I'll just make up that work at like say 9 p.m. when the kids are all in bed. Then I'll do the work I was going to do while I take her out. So,
Right.
yeah, I'd say hard to give like advice. The plan, the business plan, is
I
for the
think you
for the
did,
future.
man.
Just keep on making
Yeah.
good videos. Keep
Listen,
on being a good role model. Keep on doing big things. Inspire people and make good content. Yeah.
it's fantastic. Look, I'll tell you the advice you just gave. All right. I don't think you even realized that you gave is that you have a clear priority balance in your life. Your family comes first.
Oh
Your
yeah.
passions are there as well. And you're going to make that work. And I think that that's an important message for everybody listening is that really priority balance, work-life balance is not a thing. It doesn't exist. It's a myth, but priority
I'm doing
balance
a
does.
podcast and pouring a bottle of milk right now.
Right,
So
right. But hey, listen, it's authentic, it's content. No, but your family comes first. I will
yeah,
always respect that. The second thing is, again, I just want to make good content. I want to do a good job. You have your priorities set. And I think
yeah,
that that's one of the reasons, many reasons. You have talent, obviously, as well, but you're so successful is because you're true to yourself. And I think that that's a huge message for everybody, whether you're in hockey or not, on how to do it. And I will tell you this: we do have an office. I'm sitting in it right now. This is a real
yeah.
studio. You're
Oh yeah,
always
it looks
welcome here
awesome.
if you want to try it out. All right, I'll tell you that
Nice.
right now. But Jeremy, listen, I want to thank you for giving us so much time today. This has been a wonderful conversation. Again, I would tell people to go follow you, but most of these people probably do already. But I just
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
you, man, and everything you're doing in the game.
Awesome. And I do have a studio. I've got a loft. It's above my garage. So I do have my workspace. But just I think she's calling me Jeremy right now.
Well, that's a start, right? My daughter called me Gaga for 3 years before she said
Oh,
Daddy.
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got that workspace, the loft, which is great. But yeah, like, as far as the content too, I think focusing on the right thing, right? I don't really focus on the followers. I don't really focus on like how much money or views is going to get. Of course, some videos I do make because I know they'll get views. Like they're fun. It's always going to be true to me too. Like it's going to be in, but like there's the odd videos where I'm like, okay, this is like one to get some views. But for the most part, it's I don't really care.
Right.
If I like the video, that's why I'm posting it.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it gets 30,000 views or 300,000 views or 3 million. Like some of the ones that I don't think will do very well, but I like it, I'll post, and then they actually do really well.
Right.
Like I did a series on YouTube teaching people like about properly fitting their skates. And I was like, this is gonna, like, 10,000 people might see this, but like it's really gonna help them. And I went into a shop and I had like an ex-pro like showing like why it's important to profile the blades of your skates. And it's like there's no way there's an audience for profiling the blades of your skates. And I think that video has like 750,000 views.
Right.
It's like every year, like a new group of people that have no idea about profiling skates watch that video. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, I love that. I just wanted to put it out there for like that one like person that really needed it. And it turns out there was a lot of people that really needed it. So I love that. And even like how to tape your hockey stick.
Right.
That was a video a while back. And I was like, it's just so basic. Like, I don't think like everyone knows how to tape a stick, but I'm like, you know what? There's got to be a few people out there. So I'll make it just in case someone doesn't know. It is like clockwork. Every September, October, every Saturday and Sunday, there's a massive spike in that video. And then it comes down during the week and it spikes up again. And then it slowly tapers off and it repeats every year. It's all the new hockey parents that get to the rink, right? And they've got the stick in their hand and like, oh, how do I tape this? And they'll fire up their thing and they'll find my video. I'm like, okay, this is how you tape a hockey stick. So it's like, I never thought that video would do well. And I think it has over 1 million views.
I believe it.
Cool.
I remember, look, you can, for all the other, you want to see this in usage, other places, go search How to Mow Your Lawn by John Deere and you'll be amazed, right? That one doesn't seem like it's rocket science, but that video gets an amazing amount of views. But Jeremy,
everyone's got a lawn, right? Or
everyone's got a lawn. Whether it's rock or not, or city or grass. But Jeremy, I'll tell you this too, and the kind of a last note here is that when it comes to content, one of the things that you do so well, and I think a lot of the top people in content creation do, is you're just not afraid to try things. And I think where a lot of people get lost in content creation is, I got to make a perfect video, or I got to make something people are going to watch. And the truth is, no, you just got to make stuff, period. Right. And you got to put it out there. You never, ever know what's going to hit, ever. All right. And the things you think are going to hit sometimes never hit. So I think would you agree with that?
Yeah, oh, for sure. And I think the only time it I guess hurts is if like you're making something expecting it to do really well, and then you post and it doesn't. And I try to never like make videos that I want to do well. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm posting this video because I like it and I want to share it with people. And then it doesn't matter how many views it gets, because even if it gets say like 10,000, I know that 10,000 people liked it. And right. It's for like a smaller audience, and some videos I make for a broader audience. Right. So I'm not ever chasing views. And I think that helps with mental health. Right. Because if you're sitting there analyzing every single video that you post and you need them, like, oh, I need that to go viral, I need this, and it doesn't. And then you start doubting yourself and all, right? It can kind of have a toll. So I think that, helps me create content on a regular basis. And when they do well, then it is nice. It's cool. It's fun when a video is doing really well, because that means that a lot of people are really digging it. Right. But I try to not. Yeah, if you hold your stick too tight hoping for a goal, it's probably not going to happen. You got to be relaxed and just let the game play, right? Exactly. So, Jeremy, again, I want to thank you for coming on. You've been watching Jeremy Rupke. You've been watching Feeding Time with Briar. You've been watching us on the Wraparound Roundtable. You can meet my cat, Charlie. Oh, the cat's on here too. We got the whole family almost here now. We'll have to get Mason and Sammy on at some point too. But Jeremy, again, I just want to thank you for being here today on our show. All right, thanks for having me. It's been great.